Hey friends, it's Angela from Create Heal Shine, and I'm excited to have you back today talking all about when you get overwhelmed in your business. And it also affects your productivity. So we're going to talk about all of that today and more. Okay, so let's discuss being overwhelmed in your business. So I like to do these kind of on the whim when I feel the intuitional hit of some topic that is bothering me or I'm interested in or something is exciting. And today I'm just working on so many projects, and I wanted to pop on here today and kind of share how when I get lost and disorganized and distracted, how I get back on track. Because if you are multi-passionate like I am, it's easy to get like that in your business. So as you guys know, I'm a professional counselor, and that is what I have a online business for. But I'm also totally in love with focusing on personal growth, journaling, life after health or life crisis, self-help, mental health, being multi-passionate. That is actually a huge interest of mine. All about reflecting, reclaiming, and all those kinds of things in a journal, and also calm and peaceful productivity and planning. So I like all of this stuff, and because I do, it's hard to focus and it's very easy to get overwhelmed so often. And what I usually need to do is what happened to me this morning is I'm so overwhelmed with the things that I have in my mind and what I want to do and the lists that I have going, because I'm a list maker, because if you know you're multi-passionate, you have lots of lists, and they're all mixed up with like, okay, pick all the beets in the garden, get making that YouTube video, do your pickled beets video, go pick all the stuff for dinner, outline what's for dinner, make a grocery list, oh yeah, create a video for this, redo my content plan, upload videos, edit podcasts, all the things. So what I end up having to do is just all of a sudden I'll have a moment where it's just too much. And that is when I just choose to go back to and this is also the kind of the methodology I teach, and it is going back to simplifying everything. So that's where we're going to start today. What is my big dream? What is my big purpose that I'm doing all this for? Why am I doing this? And what dream am I trying to actually accomplish? Because sometimes we can get so off track that we're not even working towards anything that's even aligned with us. We're working towards something that's aligned with maybe what somebody else wants us to do or what somebody else's opinion is. And we got to go back to that big dream, that big purpose, and prioritize first what is our own big dream. And we almost have to step into that picture of ourselves and think about the things that we need to do to become that version of us, to become her. And so that's what I go back to again when I'm completely lost and overwhelmed, is I think of that and who am I and what is my big dream? So what does that look like? What does that look like for me? And so I do that, and if you ask yourself those questions, it'll really help to pull back your focus and get back to where you first came to the thought of why you're really doing this. And then what I like to do is I think about who I'm actually serving, because that's why I'm doing all of this, is for number one, to fulfill my own purpose and dreams, and number two, to help someone else. Because if you're only doing things for you and you're never giving back to others, you're not supporting others, well, then that's not really a business, because a business is you serving your customers, your clients, and you get so much back from that if you're in alignment with your business and doing what you love. And so what do those people need help with right now? What do they need? And I try and think about those things. And then what I do is I make a big list and I write out what all of the open projects that I have going on right now, because if I can see that on paper and I look at those things, I can say, oh, I have so many things and they're not really, what are all on here that are not aligned with my big vision? But that's okay if they're personal things that you need to get done and projects that you have going that aren't totally aligned with your business, but in your general life, does everything kind of align with who you are and what you want for yourself? And then once I make that big list, I kind of go and I prioritize. Actually, first, go back. What needs to be done to complete those things? What I want to do now is look at and I write out all the things that need to be done to complete those things. But even before that, I can look and scratch off anything that I've started that maybe I don't want to finish. Maybe it doesn't need done, or maybe it's an old project that isn't relevant anymore. And that's really great if you can scratch something off there. But if they're all relevant and you're working on all of them and they need to be done, then you would go and write out exactly what needs to be done to complete these projects and prioritize these projects by deadlines or pressing schedules or whatever that is for you. Because I know when I have a pressing deadline, it makes me feel like I need to hustle, and I don't like that whole feeling of I don't even like the word hustle, but the whole feeling of hurry, get it done. I can tend to be good under a deadline and work really hard, but I don't want to have that pressure, because if I plan properly, I can just do it, and I can do it when I have pockets of time that feel good to me and I'm inspired, because then I'm not rushing and putting things down that don't really matter so much as if I'm taking inspired action on the project and really focusing on feeling so good about doing those actions and writing when I'm in the mood. So if you've ever been in the flow, you know what I'm talking about. You gotta be, when you're in that flow, stuff just comes so easily. And so I like to feel like I'm working on stuff when I'm in the flow. So if I have a big list of projects and I'm in the flow and I feel that intuition that I want to, that feeling in my gut, like, ooh, I really have an idea for this project or that, and I want to work on it, then I can go to that and see what needs to be done and work on it. And then I want to kind of look at my personal things that I want to do and do the same exact process. And then I think that it's really important to reflect on, while you're doing this, that are you putting a lot of things on your plate and filling a lot of your time attending to needs of other people and not your own? And that's why you feel so distracted and so much pressure, because when we're continually focused on the needs of others and we do not fill up our own cup and focus on some of our own things that we need to do to achieve our own dreams and desires and visions for ourselves, that can kind of get in the way and clutter up our day. And so I found that I had a bunch of things that I was doing for other people and thinking about for other people that I needed to kind of say, you know what, I need to focus on this to get this thing done for myself. And I need to take a break from doing that for you for now, because I'm putting everybody else's needs kind of before my own. And when I catch myself doing that, I got to kind of revert and come back to myself. Because that's what happens for myself is I stay so busy without knowing it that I'm actually self-sabotaging my own self by filling my schedule with things for other people. And I don't mean other people in the way of enjoying myself in activities with friends and family. I mean doing things specifically, constantly for other people, like being a caregiver or just doing everything I can to make other people happy and people pleasing, those kinds of things. I have to kind of self-check. And so otherwise I will just realize that no wonder I have no time. I'm doing this. I committed to all of these things for everybody that they wanted me to volunteer for or do. And I really kind of filled my plate with those things. And so once I check that, I can really kind of knock some things out and take some things off of my list, because there's no reason that you can ever change your mind on something. So, and then what other thing that I find really powerful that I wanted to share with you is that I have this list called the Little Pocket of Time list. And what I do is I write down all the tiny little tasks that I want to get done. And when I have little tiny pockets of time, like 20 minutes here, or 10 minutes there, or 5 minutes here, or half an hour, depending on what it is, I don't really put anything that would take more than 30 minutes on the list. And whenever I have those little pockets of time, I look at that list and I can quickly just go do something on that list and check it off. And then it feels so good, because those might be part of the little tasks that are towards a project that I was working on. They could be a little thing for myself, like go out in the garden and pick and wash all sorts of vegetables, or get something ready, or throw and switch over some laundry, or send out an email, or whatever that is. It could be anything, whatever it is for you. They're just small projects, small little tasks, actually not projects, little tasks that can fit into little pockets of time. And I think that you'll be shocked how much stuff you can actually get done when you have that list with you. And if you've seen any of my videos on my channel, Create, Heal, Shine, you might have noticed that I have a playlist called Traveler's Notebook. And if you haven't seen it, it might really inspire you to start a little Traveler's Notebook. Now, this is nothing to do with traveling. Actually, one is, but the other one, they're just Traveler's Notebooks because they're called that because of the size of them. You can easily put this little notebook in your purse, these little journals into your bag with you, and they're just small and compact, and you can take them wherever you go. And so I'm really hooked on using these Traveler's Journal for planning. I've got one for planning. I've got one for documenting traveling adventures. I've got another one for gratitude, self-reflection, and all sorts of different things. So because of the size of them, I really, really love them. So if you haven't checked that out, I believe that I have a link in my description on those Traveler's Journal videos for getting the book. And there's all sorts of different colors that you can get. And you can buy refills for the inside. And what they do is they fit in your bag so easily. So you can do these little pockets of time lists carried around when you're thinking of something. You can jot it down, check it off when you've done something. You can also use them for projects, management. You can really create anything you want with these Traveler's Journals. I just love them. And I find that if I am planning correctly and I'm using my journal and I'm not wasting a bunch of little pockets of time, I can get so much more done. And I have so much less overwhelm when this happens. So yeah, those are the things I wanted to share with you. And I want you to take what you need and leave the rest if it doesn't work for you. But I hope that you've got something out of this that you could use and towards helping you with your overwhelm. And don't forget that at any time when you're overwhelmed with all this stuff, you can just stop, simplify everything, go back and look at what is my big dream and purpose? Why am I doing this? And go from there so that you can come back to remembering why you're even doing the thing. Because sometimes you're just wondering, what am I even working on? And for us multi-passionate people, if that's you, you will know that we start many, many, many projects and we don't tend to finish them all because we have so many bright, shiny ideas all the time. And so when you're like that, you're constantly starting things and not finishing them. So this can be a really great tool to go reflect back on what is going on, kind of get your bearings again and restart, especially when you're multi-passionate. So I hope that this helps you. And you know what, friends? I'd love to know if you leave me a comment and tell me what you got out of this. And in the meantime, I'll catch you next time. Bye, friends.